PlayStation's July State of Play came and went. It might not have been the most exciting showcase of games, but it wasn't a particularly boring showcase of games either. What's up guys, back with another video. Let's talk about PlayStation's State of Play that premiered yesterday. There are about 11 games shown in total, with the focus on Deathloop at the end, but today I wanted to talk about the showcase as a whole and break down each of the games one by one and give you guys my thoughts. Now the first game they showed was Moss Book 2, which is a sequel to the 2018 release. It was a VR action-adventure game. Not gonna lie, I'm not that big into VR. I played Super Hot a couple years ago on PC. It was cool, but it's usually not my forte. But I will say, at least this game looks a little bit different. It's not your typical first-person VR experience. It's like a third-person action-adventure game, and of course the camera moves depending on where you tilt your head, and you know, it looks pretty cool. It looks alright. Like I said, VR isn't really my thing, but I kind of like what they're going for, and it looks interesting at least, so that's a win, I would say. I may end up trying this at some point. Now the next game they showed was a lot more interesting than the first game, at least in my opinion. It's a new multiplayer IP called Arcade-ageddon. It's like a over-the-shoulder third-person multiplayer shooter. It actually has a little bit of looting elements as well, so that's pretty interesting. The gunplay looks pretty fun, and I like the amount of movement options they give you. There's like a roll and a slide, and the powers look pretty cool. And there seems to be a lot of variety in gameplay types as well. To me, it reminds me of Fortnite, but if Fortnite was like an arena-based shooter with some light looting elements. But overall, looks pretty good. I would probably give it a try. And then after Arcade-ageddon was Tribes of Midgar. This is a co-op top-down RPG that has some beat-em-up type gameplay. I don't have that big of an interest in the game, but from what they showed, it still looks like it's a pretty good game. Definitely looks like it'd be a lot of fun with friends. Pretty straightforward, not a whole lot to say about this one. It's not bad at all. Okay, now this next game was probably my favorite game out of the entire State of Play. It's called F.I.S.T, and it's like a side-scrolling beat-em-up with air combos? Dude, this game actually looks pretty sick, not gonna lie. The graphics actually look pretty good, actually, as well. Not that side-scrollers can't have good graphics or anything, but they just look exceptionally well. Very good looking game, and a very fun looking game. I really like the art style as well. And it also seems like there are some bullet hell. There's like a bullet hell boss, or like a boss with bullet hell elements. That looks really cool as well. I mean, this entire game just looks phenomenal. And I'm very much looking forward to checking this out later on this year. Next up, we got Hunter's Arena, which is a battle royale fighting game, which is a new concept. I think this game has been showed off before. I believe it was in beta a couple months back, and the reception seemed pretty good. I'm liking the fighting mechanics. They look pretty solid, and it seems like there is a good amount of depth to it. Of course, it wouldn't be a battle royale game if they didn't give you some sort of customization option. They had showed off some pretty goofy stuff earlier, but hey, you know, you got something for everybody. It looks like everybody has some sort of launch attack that they can use to launch the opponent up in the air and juggle them for a little bit. That looks pretty cool. I'm curious to know how the balance of this game is. I mean, they say it's like a fighting game, but I mean, some fighting games are pretty unbalanced. I mean, let's be honest, there's some games that have horrible balance, but that's kind of the fun of it. And I guess in a battle royale game, balance doesn't really matter. It didn't look like there were any weapons you could pick up. It looks like you just start off with whatever you have, and it's the last man standing. So yeah, I mean, looks pretty good, looks pretty cool. Definitely an interesting way to switch up the battle royale genre. Looks cool. I'll definitely have to give this one a try as well. Now, next up we had Sifu, which is the over-the-shoulder beat-em-up. This game was shown off last year, and we hadn't really seen that much from it since then, but showed it again here. Nothing really new was shown, just more of what we kind of saw in the last trailer. Still looks pretty cool. My only complaint is, and it seems like a lot of other people kind of agree, the sound effects just seem very bland. Like there's no real impact whenever you punch somebody. It kind of sounds like you're just tapping, you know? There's no real like hit impact. So hopefully they can work on the sound effects so that each attack feels like it has a little bit more punch to it. That's all. Other than that, it looks pretty cool. The aging mechanic is interesting. I wonder what is the final age you can get to, or will it slow you down depending on how old you get? Like say, you know, you get up to your 70s, will your attacks be like super slow? I'm very interested to see how that affects the combat, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now the next game they showed was Jet. I'll be honest, not too crazy about this one. They showed this game off last year and I really didn't know what to think of this game. I didn't really know what the game was about, and even though they explain it a little bit more, I still am kind of confused about what the game is about. They said it was an exploration game and they showed some minor combat here and there. There was also a section or a couple of sections where it looked like you could interact with your crewmates, talk to people, actually get off your ship and walk around, look around. So that looked pretty cool, but not super invested in this game. It's cool. Indie games are important, so it's good that it was here. But this one didn't really excite me too much, but not a bad trailer, just not really that interested. After the Jet game, they showed off a little bit of footage of the Demon Slayer game. I haven't really been paying that much attention to it, and it was not what I was expecting at all, actually. Very interesting. It's like an arena based fighter. It really reminds me of the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games where you're free to move around the environment while you fight. I'm liking the way the combat actually plays out as well. And the moveset for each character looks pretty nice and flashy. I like the flashiness of each character's moves. I wouldn't be surprised if CyberConnect 2, the developers for the Ultimate Ninja Storm games, maybe came over and helped out a little bit. There were a lot of similarities, I feel, with that game. Even with the cutscenes, the way the cutscenes kind of play out remind me a lot of the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games as well. So presentation wise, it seems like they're going all in. So another fun and great looking game. Kind of makes me want to go back and rewatch Demon Slayer because it's been a while, but I might have to check this one out as well too. Then we had an update on Lost Judgment. This is the sequel to the Yakuza spin-off Judgment, and man, this game looks wacky, but like in a good way. Of course, you know, it comes from the same people who did the Yakuza game, so it makes a whole lot of sense. But I mean, it looks fun. I played Yakuza 0 for a little bit. I didn't get too into it, but from what I played, it was pretty fun. I enjoyed what I played, and it definitely looks like they took a lot of those same elements and put them in there. But it does look like they kind of turned it up to 11 in this one compared to the original game. One thing that I noticed with this game is it seems like, at least in the English trailer, the English voices don't really line up that well with the faces. I noticed. I feel like this is a game where you should definitely play it with the subs because the lip syncing wasn't that great. If I'm gonna play this, I'm definitely gonna play this with the subs. Next up was Death Stranding Director's Cut, and oh man, I am very surprised at how much stuff they added to this game, which I'm really glad about because I kind of assumed that other than the remastered visuals, the increase in frame rate, they might have added a couple things here and there, but they went all out with this director's cut. There's new story-based missions, there's new battles, they upgraded the combat, there's a firing range, there's even a mini game, it looks like, where you can race against Fragile on a circuit. That looks dope, to be honest. When I see this director's cut, I can't help but feel like Kojima took a lot of those comments about the game not being fun to heart and was like, all right, it's obvious that you guys didn't think this game was fun, so we're just gonna add a ton of stuff to make the game fun. But I mean, I thought the game was fun already. I also think it should have won Game of the Year, but that's another conversation for another time. But yeah, man, like, I was very, very surprised with the amount of content that they're packing in this thing. And I'm glad it's not just some basic remaster. This looks like an upgraded version that's really gonna be worth it. And it looks like it's gonna add a lot to the original experience. I think I'll definitely have to check this one out whenever it releases later on this year. Here's hoping for a PC release as well. And to top everything off, we had a deep dive into Deathloop. I'll be honest, as cool as this game looks, I'm kind of tired of seeing it. I mean, yeah, I get that it got delayed and they're trying to promote it more, but I don't really know if there's anything more they can show to sell this game. Seeing it again here, it's starting to become a little bit repetitive. They showed it off at the very first PlayStation 5 showcase. Then they showed it again during the second one. And they're showing it here again, which, I mean, yeah, I guess it's cool that they're giving a little bit more of a deep dive, but I feel like we already got a deep dive for the last couple PS5 showcases. So seeing another one here, it's just like, really? I mean, do we really got to see this game again? We kind of already know what the game is about. We know the premise, we know what the gameplay is like. Some stuff was pretty cool, like there's a Dark Souls mechanic where after you die, you can go back to where you died and kind of regain some of your abilities. There's also the invasion mechanic with the other character, I forget her name. She can come in and invade your session. She'll either be AI controlled or player controlled. So I mean, that's cool. The non-linear mission structure is also a plus. They give you a lot of ways to complete each mission, so you know you're not doing the same thing over and over again. But like I said, overall, I'm just sick of seeing this game. I'm so sick and tired of seeing this game. I want to see something else. Maybe it'll actually be a lot better whenever you're playing the game and you're experiencing it for yourself. Here's hoping. And that was pretty much the entire showcase. It was not the most exciting showcase, but I think for what it was a pretty solid showcase. I'd give it about a 7, and I think it's good that Sony definitely came and tempered expectations. They told us exactly what was going to be in the showcase. They were going to show Deathloop and give updates on other third-party games. That's it, and that's exactly what they did. They didn't say there were going to be any surprises. They didn't say there were going to be any big announcements or anything like that. They tempered our expectations. And I think because of that, the state of play ended up being a lot better because of it. So, solid state of play, solid showcase of games. Like I said, some stuff was pretty exciting. Some stuff was a little bit lackluster. But the entire package as a whole, I think, was pretty good. I'm hoping that the next showcase will be more of a mix between first party and third party games, with a couple more surprises sprinkled in there. And even though there wasn't a lot of first party announcements at this state of play, I still think there were a lot of games to get excited for in the future. So overall, I think this state of play is 1 thumbs up. You know, it's good. Not 2, but it's good enough, right? Right? But hey, that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think about PlayStation State of Play in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, give it a like, consider subscribing, and if you do, make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss out on all of these awesome videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, pieces, deuces, and everything in between.